Alrighty, well, thanks guys for joining us again on our Friday afternoon training sessions. Today we've got a bit of a special treat. We've got Brad here to go through his share the journey topic. So we're hoping that he can provide a little bit of clarity about what that is and how that'll work to your favor in your business and how you can implement that. So feel free to ask questions along the way. You can type into the chat box or just raise your hand and I can allow you to talk as well throughout the session. So I'll pass over to you, Brad, and you can take it from there.
No worries. Thanks heaps, Tim. Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate the time. It's been a really fun couple of months of working with Integrity New Homes and loving being part of the group and getting to know all the builders and whatnot. So thanks for that. But today, Glenn has asked me to talk and go in depth a bit more on what this concept of share the journey is in terms of digital assets, marketing, social media, website, and how that all kind of interrelates and connects together. So that's what we're deep diving into today. Real simply, the aim of this whole process is to create and collect digital assets. So I'm going to use the term digital assets a little bit in, I guess, what I do with social media that relates to anything digital. So that could be photos, videos, sound, AR, anything like that. But for us, it's primarily photos and videos. And so we're creating or collecting those digital assets for the purposes of immediate marketing opportunities. So if I'm a builder and I'm on site and something significant is taking place, whether a slab is being laid or frames are going up, I would be collecting images of that, taking photos on my phone or video to then upload immediately to share the process. So there's immediate wins in terms of getting our heads around this and starting to apply it.
Just a quick one there, Brad, as well. I'm not sure if everyone's aware as well that Gyro has that feature sort of built in. So if you're taking lots of photos across lots of different sites, a good way to keep them categorized is just to take the photo in Gyro. You can go to the Photos tab, take a photo or a video, and it will upload straight into that job for you. No need to file it later.
Fantastic, making my job even easier, which is great too. The second aim would be to showcase completed builds. So taking all the photos that have happened over the course of that build, that 6 to 12 to 18 months, and then being able to present them publicly as a start to finish, because that's entertaining for people. They love to see a vacant lot and then what then happens in terms of what that build looks like. And then thirdly, it's also to acquire digital assets for long-term marketing opportunities. So there is short-term wins, but there's also long-term wins of having what I call a digital assets bank, as you would say, of having all your images and being able to lean on those throughout the year when there's parts of builds that aren't favorable for photoing or videoing. You can refer back to older gear to be able to share that across. So those are my three aims. If I was a builder in terms of sharing the journey and what I'm aiming to do. I wrote this in the our workplace deal, but it kind of rung true in a couple of conversations I've had, which is high quality digital assets. So photo and video is the second best marketing tool you have. And the first being word of mouth. I don't think anything can beat word of mouth or experience. After spending some time with Terry Greedy down at Griffith and spending time filming his clients, it became very evident how Terry markets himself quite well purely on word of mouth and how successful he is at that. So that's number one. Number two is having those resources available to be able to share consistently. I'll take a bit of a concept of hopefully shifting a value as business owners and as builders and developers. Is that one of my favorite entrepreneurs, Gary Vaynerchuk, says this: think of your business as a media business that does whatever. I come from a professional sports background. The last 5 years before joining Integrity New Homes, I was in professional sports. And that was my approach working in that, was that I am building a media business in terms, and then there's sport being played. And it was a shift in my thinking of valuing what we're doing, is that, yes, you're building homes, and it, for us, that that means building homes, but I'm also being able to share that journey and actually provide entertainment for people, which in turn is part of our marketing strategy to potentially get more new homes and more new clients. So for us, it means ensuring we value the creation of digital assets. I know for builders, there's a lot of stuff going on. It's many balls to juggle, many projects going on at the same time. So a big part of Share the Journey for me is just ensuring that we value the digital assets that we can create over that time frame of a project. So shifting our mindset, not to just have photos and videos and social media at the back of our mind, but having it as almost a small part of our day-to-day business thinking and trading. Secondly, it is understanding that short-term wins that we kind of just talked about and the long-term benefits of sharing the journey. So snapping that photo and posting it on social media and having that in the bank, that there is long and short-term wins in that. And it's probably bigger than most of us understand in the moment. And thirdly is investing in the appropriate amount of time and energy to succeed. I love what comes out of Toowoomba with their fun videos and the humor that those guys have. The Cairns guys do a lot of posting, which is fantastic. There's a lot of guys that do a lot of things well. I'm of the belief that you have to be able to put in the appropriate amount of time and energy. And honestly, you know that better than anyone else. So that's something I'm sure Glenn and yourself can discuss more in depth about. How much time should I be spending in sharing the journey, in my social media, in getting these assets, because it sounds like a lot, but if it becomes a day-to-day kind of deal or more of a regular thought process, it makes it a bit easier and less of a strain. I wanted to run through a real quick practical example of if I was a builder and what sharing the journey might look like, because I keep saying it's a day-to-day thought process, but realistically, there's lots of things in the day-to-day building deal that may not be worthy of being put online. So I listed a few things of when there would be times of significance as a builder to create digital assets. So laying of a slab, I see that a lot in Cairns. They do that really well. When the frames go up, installing the kitchen, installing the bathroom, handing over the keys. And another big one that I'd love to start seeing across our group is when contractors are involved, whether that be tilers or painters or whatever, is taking photos or videos of that progress and also sharing what they're contributing to the build. And I'll go a little bit more in depth of how that looks a bit more into this, but yeah, I'm sure there might be more times. Again, I'm not a builder, so you would have a better idea of when those significant times you can take those photos and post and have that bank. So realistically, hopefully over the course of the whole build, there might be 10 different photo opportunities, which for some builders would be less than what they're posting, but for other builders might be a bit more. So 10 would be a fantastic middle ground to aim to if you're not doing that through your builds. The way that I would do it is that when the slab goes down, I'm posting that individual post onto Facebook, onto Instagram, onto LinkedIn, with a little caption, hey, this is what's going on, really excited. And to do that through the process, have the frames, have the kitchen, you're just sharing little snippets. What's different about this kitchen? What's unique about this bathroom? All those kind of things. And then obviously putting those photos into iGiro so that they're kept collectively together. Now, come to the end of the project, and we're going to talk a little bit about this as well, is getting in a professional photographer and a professional videographer to cover the house and to take those professional images of the build that you've just done. It would seem for me, as someone who likes to build in a totally different kind of field of videos and graphics, that I wouldn't want to show off the hard work that I've been doing on the site. So not cashing in on the cooperative fund and getting a professional photographer and videographer in to cover that house is, in my opinion, a bit of a wasted opportunity, simply because it's there. Glenn's made that available for everyone, and it's such a big win for you as a business to have professional photos and video of the build and of the finished product. How this looks, and so this gets a little bit more, I guess, tricky, is that once we've come through the individual posts, the build's been done, I've had professional photos taken, how does that practically look across what I do now? Is that if it's me, I would be on my Facebook page having galleries of individual houses so that when people are on my site and they look through photos, they can see whole projects collectively together, and that way they're getting an understanding that social media's greatest tool is to remove friction in the decision-making process. So if I'm looking to build a house and I'm looking to go with, you know, builder A, B, or C, I'm going to be looking at their work, and the more I see, the more comfortable I am already before I make that first initial conversation. So having those galleries is a good idea. It's an easily organized and accessible way to experience a whole build. I would do something similar. Instagram doesn't have those galleries and LinkedIn doesn't, but to be able to put in a recap post of a start to finish is always going to be an engaging social media post, and it's going to be a good highlight post to be able to lean back to, that people can flick through or see through and see a build from start to finish and feel like they're part of the journey. Also, I would add in, and this is not something that I see done a lot, is I would then take that same energy and that same content and put that on as a blog post on your website, because this is always going to help SEO. This is going to help when people are looking through the website, they're looking at news. If there's, you know, project after project written down there with photos, it's another great place where friction is going to be reduced because they're experiencing you as a builder secondhand digitally, and that will hopefully in turn help them with the decision-making process of choosing an Integrity New Homes builder. And then lastly, we also have the opportunity for future social media posts. So when that project's all done and dusted and I'm still looking to be able to post or to be able to present things online, I have now an image bank of 30 to 40 images of the photos that I've taken on my phone and the professional photos and or video. I've got all those assets now to be able to share online in the future, to assist in communicating your brand and communicating your business to the wider public. Contractors. And this was the second post in Workplace that I felt is such a big win, that we don't do enough of. And when I say we, I'm saying that for myself as well. It's something I'm looking to do with Integrity New Homes and our large accounts, our whole accounts, is highlighting our contractors. So for me, it would be our partnerships, but for you, it's your contractors that work in the community that are part of your everyday today, but it is to build those quality relationships and improve social media interaction. So when a tiler comes in or when a painter comes in, I'm taking a picture and I'm posting, hey, look, so-and-so from so-and-so is here painting this build. We're so excited. Their work's so good. We appreciate what they do. And I post, not only is that going to build relationships because that painter or that contractor is going to see what you're doing for their business, but it also helps with Facebook and Instagram to say that you're active within the social media deal. You're not just a standalone island of a social media account. You're connecting with other people within your community. Facebook, Instagram, all social media loves that interconnectivity that comes with tagging and comes with interacting with other accounts. It's a big win for Facebook. It's a big win for Instagram in particular. And it's something that not only is going to make our contractors happy and build those relationships, it's going to make our social media accounts happy and in turn build a better presence for us digitally. And lastly, I kind of wanted to touch on this because I've been with the business, I guess, 5 months now, and it's something that I've only seen 1 or 2 builds capitalize on the cooperative account and utilizing that in terms of getting those professional digital assets done, whether it be video, photo, or both. It's such a fantastic opportunity that Glenn puts on the table pretty much because the cooperative fund will pay for it and the rest of us get to benefit from your builds and having those professional photos done. So I know that, well, I don't know the process of why these wouldn't be happening. I'm sure there's lots of roadblocks or potential issues, or just simply you're moving on to the next project. You've handed over the keys, you're done with that. It's been 18 months and you're moving on to the next thing. But what I hope is that our Integrity New Homes builders, through maybe this webinar and maybe a bit more bits and pieces, will start to value what professional digital assets bring to your individual business and to the group as a whole. The more images and the more high quality that we get of you working in your business and your buildings and your homes, the better the look and feel of your website's going to be, the better your blogs are going to be, the better your social media deal is going to look. And a big part of what we're trying to sell is excellence. I've been in lots of Integrity New Homes on Travels with Glenn, and all the work that I see is so fantastic. I want everyone to see that. As a social media manager, I want everyone to experience what you're doing and how excellent that is. So that's a big one too. And lastly, as I touched,
Brad, there, I mean, professional photos, there's probably only so many you can take of empty houses. So also, if you think you're having a client that might potentially furnish their house really well later, and you've got a good relationship with them, have the opportunity to come back, 3, 4, 5 months later down the track and photograph that house once it's got furniture, it's got an established garden and that sort of thing as well, is also a good opportunity.
It is a good opportunity. I think Tim and I were talking about that this week, that we're like, obviously a furnished house will look a whole lot better than an empty house. For me, any photo that's professionally done is better than no photo, but the optimal choice would be to have a furnished home and have it looked a little bit lived in, have it looked and feel experienced, because what we're selling more than walls and a roof. We're selling lifestyle and experience and love and joy and memories and all those things as well. And being able to showcase some of that is extremely important for our brand, for all I guess residential building brands. That's what they want to capture, is that heart of what you've done. You've put your heart and soul into it. Heart and soul is going to be living in it, and we want to be able to share that across the group.
A few 3D fit outs can work as well. So we have seen a couple of those and they turn out quite well. So if it's an empty home, we can get a 3D artist to put some 3D furniture in there, and they can give it a bit better look as well.
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot that we can do. I guess the first deal is connecting with you, and this is where I put this out on the last post, is that if you need to be connected with a photographer or videographer, please come and let me know. I'll do the legwork. I'll see how good they are, get the quotes. I can do that, save you a bit of time as the builder, and simply when I land on someone that's good, that's within your area, then we can move forward and connect you, work out a date, and start to build that relationship in terms of having a photographer and videographer. I know that some builders already have their go-to person, which is fantastic, but I'm sure there are a few others that don't yet. And if that is a hesitation, please contact me. I'd love to be able to assist in that. And yeah, that's pretty much the deep dive of what I would love to see across our group, not just for the benefit of the group, but for the individual builder as well. And that's why I've been putting out those posts, is to help encourage and start that conversation. Is that we all love watching the renovation shows have gone through the roof in the last 10 years. What you're doing is entertaining. As much as you might not think it is, because that's your bread and butter and that's what you do 10 hours a day, 5 days a week. It is, for me, who's not a builder, it is entertaining. I love seeing new things. It is creative. It is a nuanced thing. It is such a unique experience to be able to see the whole process. So as a builder, I hope that the value increases of you being able to share your craftsmanship, share the work that you've done, share the pride of what you'll be able to do, and the joy that it brings people. So that's it. Landing back on, this is the second best marketing tool that we have, is getting these assets, getting these digital assets in the bank. And if our value can start to shift a little bit, and we can start to look at appropriate times in that, then yeah, we'll start to see more and more goods come out now, and the appearance of our websites and social media increase as well. So that's it for me, Tim, today. I don't know if anyone's got questions or thoughts that they have in the moment.
No questions at the moment, but raise your hand. Anyone would like to have a bit of a talk and find out a bit more? I like the idea of this too. I'd also like to see that if you're taking photographs of your own houses, so some of our builders are more active than others, if they can share those as well, share them in workplace. And if we start to see lots of this coming through, we might be able to come up with a way to share these more efficiently throughout our group so that some of the smaller builders can make use of some of these other photos that larger builders are doing. And obviously it'll be the larger volume builders that start getting these professional photos taken. So obviously all of those are already shared as well. So a collaborative approach to collecting these photos is great.
It's something unique within our group and something that I know and see, even say our more well-established builders that have been with us for some time, they still lean on other people's images from time to time. So it's not in a sense where the big guys are just supplying the little guys in terms of like how long they've been in the game or with Integrity New Homes for. It's actually everyone's very much sharing with everyone, and it's actually a really encouraging business model to be a part of as a creative, to be able to see that. So yeah, even if you're just starting out and you've done your first build, I know it's probably something Morgan's been posting in Workplace, a bit of the bits and pieces and slabs and stuff, and it's really cool to see that, you know, the progress is there for, you know, the first build of Integrity New Homes Geraldton in that environment. So there's lots of encouraging stuff happening within the group.
Pretty big milestone. And again, just sharing all these photos is pretty significant in terms of being part of a franchise. So that's a major benefit to being in a franchise. Wonderful. All right. Well, thanks, Brad. If you haven't got any last comments, it looks like we're about to wrap it up. We've got no other questions.
Yeah.
Wonderful. All right. Thanks for joining us again, guys. We'll catch you next time.
All right. Thanks, Tim.